Welcome back to my CSS tutorial for beginners series. In this lesson, which is lesson 8, we're going to be learning about classes and IDs in CSS. A lot of people get confused about classes and IDs. And so in this video, I'm going to help you understand classes and IDs in the shortest period of time. Okay, so just close all distractions and pay attention to this video because I'm going to explain to you what classes and IDs are. So what are classes and IDs? These are selectors, and I just talked about selectors in my last videos. Okay, if you didn't watch that video, go ahead and watch it. I went in depth and talked about selectors. Okay, now this video is going to throw more light on classes and IDs in CSS. Okay, both classes and IDs are used to select elements for styling, yet they have differences. This is what people are confused about. Okay, they perform the same tasks, yet they are different, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, so next, classes begin with a dot. Okay, a class can be used multiple times on a single web page. We have IDs. An ID begins with a hash character. IDs or an ID can only be used once on a single page. Enough of the talking. Let's go ahead and demonstrate it visually with the help of our code. This is my code editor, Visual Studio Code. I created 3 pages, page 1, page 2, and page 3, and they are all HTML documents or HTML files. I created a style.css file, and inside each HTML document, I have my bare bones structure of my HTML code. I created a navigation to these pages. I had and created heading 1, and inside heading 1, which is on page 1.html, I have this text, welcome to page 1, with red background color. Let me take you to page 2. The same code, but difference in text when it comes to H2. So H2, welcome to page 2, with green background color. And I have page 3, the same code, but different here. Welcome to page 3 with yellow background color. So the only difference is here, H1, welcome to page 3, which is pointing to page 3. This particular text is inside page 3. When we go to page 2, you see welcome to 2. When we go to page 1, we have welcome to page 1 with background color red. They all have different background colors. Okay, good. So we're going to style these 3 pages. Okay, we're going to style these 3 pages with the help of classes and IDs. So the first page we're going to style is page 1. Okay, but before that, let me take you to our web browser, and then I'll take you to, okay, so this is where I open it up. Now you can see we have our menus here, page 1, page 2, and page 3. When you click on page 1, you see this message, welcome to page 1, with red background color. That means we're going to give this page a background color of red. When we go to page 2, we have welcome to page 2 with green background color. This page, we're going to assign green background to it. And then we have page 3, welcome to page 3 with yellow background color. Perfect. So first, we're going to look at classes. Okay, so I'll take you to our code editor, and then the first page we're going to be styling is page 1. Take note, we have linked, or I linked my CSS file inside each page, just like this. Okay, and if you watch my first video, you should be able, or my second video self, you should be able to link a CSS. This shouldn't be a case, a hard task. Very, very simple. So we have linked our pages with the help of a link tag, and now this page is communicating with this CSS file. So any style we put inside here will affect our page. The same CSS file is linked to page 2. You can see here, and the same CSS file is linked to page 3, which is here. Good. Our intention is to give page 1 a background color of red. So let's go ahead and do that. So to give your background color, your body color, you have to target body. Okay, so we go inside our style, and then inside here we put what? Body. So put body, and then we give it a background color, and our background color is, let me see, with red background color. So we're giving it a red background color. For now, this may not make sense, just bear with me. Okay, good. So we're targeting body. We're going to give our page 1 a background color. So that means we are targeting this body. So you go to style, and then we give, this is our body, which is our selector. We give a background color, and then we put red here. Fantastic. Now let's go to our web browser, and then let's click on page 1, and as you can see, page 1 is styled with what? With red background color. Let me click on page 2, and as you can see, page 2 is also styled with the same red color. This is because all our pages, let me click on page 3, and as you can see, page 3 too has the same background color. Meanwhile, our intention was to what? Style this page with a yellow background color, and our page 2 with green background color, and not red. The problem here is all our three pages have this body, and because they are all connected to the same CSS file, when you put body, this style is going to be applied to all our pages. So this is the problem now. That is where classes and IDs come in. So we're going to be using CSS and IDs to solve this problem. If not, we'll continue to have this kind of problem. So let's go back to our page 1, and this page 1, we want to give it a background color of red. Okay, so already this page is working fine. Okay, this page is working fine already. Our page 1 has background color red, but our page 2, when you go to page 2, this page 2, we want to give it a green background color and not red, because when we go back there and click on page 2, you can see it has red background color. We don't want that. Our intention is to give it green background color. So let's solve this problem. This is page 2, and our target is this body. So first, let's give it a class equal to quotation, and inside this quotation, so let's put second page like this. Okay, second page. Now with the help of our class, we will be able to target page 2. Okay, so we simply copy this name, which is second class, copy, go to CSS, and then we come beneath it like this, and then inside here you put dot because it's a class, and then you put the name of the class, which is second page. Open it up, and then we're going to give this a background color green. Okay, green like this, because page 2, we're giving it a green background color. Now, problem solved. Let's go to our page 2, and this is a page 2. When we reload, you can see page 2 now has a green background color. And when we go to page 1 still has its red background color. Problem solved. But page 3 will still be red because it's still using the body element as a selector. So let's go and work on page 3. So I'll simply go to page 3, and this is page 3. Welcome to page 3 with yellow background color. Because we are targeting this selector, which is body, let's give it a class equal to, and then we give it maybe third page. Okay, so let's put third page. Good. Then we copy this particular class name and then go to our CSS, come beneath it, and then put dot before the name of the class, and then we open it up this way. Fantastic. And then we give it a background color, yellow background color, yellow, like this. Good. So now our first background color, our first page has red background color, second page green background color, and third page yellow background color. Let's go to page 3, reload this page, and as you can see we have yellow background color. Problem solved. Good. In this part of the video, I'm going to demonstrate to you what an ID is and how important it is. Okay, so let's begin. I'll first of all clear my code here, and then we're going to start from fresh like this, and then I'm going to put a div here, and I hope you know what a div is. A div is a container. Good. And then inside here, inside a div, I'm going to put text there, content. So we'll put content inside it like this, and then we'll give this div a class. And I hope for now you know what a class is, because I guess I explained to you what classes are. Now I'll put here box. Okay, so put box. Now we're going to duplicate this particular code 4 times like this, because the style I'll be applying to this particular div will be the same as this, that, and the last one. Okay, that's why I'm giving them the same classes. And I also made it clear to you that a web page can have multiple classes, the same classes. It doesn't matter, provided the elements there are going to have the same styling. That's why I'm giving it the same class names. Okay, enough. Let's go to our style.css, and then we're going to style these divs with the help of our class. Okay, so we'll go to style, and then inside here we're going to target our class, which is box. So we put box here. Remember to put your dot because it's a class, and then you open it this way. Please, we're going to give each div a background color. So go ahead and type background color, and then we'll give it a red background color. Let's go to our web browser, and as you can see we have 3 divs, but for now you can see what is happening, because a div is not something you see visually until you apply color and other values or properties. Okay, so let's reload this page, and because of the background color you can see all our divs have the same background color. Let's go ahead, or let's continue styling our divs. So go back to our code editor, and then we're going to give our box, each of the boxes, we're going to give it a height. Okay, so let's give it a height something like 65 pixels. Okay, good. Let's calm down, and then give it a width of the same 65 pixels. All right, so let's go to our web browser, reload this page, and as you can see, they all have 65 pixel height and width. Okay, now we need to separate these because they are boxes. Okay, so to separate them, you need a margin. So we put margin, and because they have the same height, they are qualified to be called squares. Okay, so they are little squares, and then we put margin, and a margin like 10 pixels. Okay, so let's put something like 10 pixels. We'll go to our web browser, reload this page, and as you can see, these are little boxes, box 1, 2, 3, and 4 with content inside. Now let's talk about ID, because up until now I've not talked to you about an ID. So what is an ID? Okay, let me take you back to your code editor. Good, let me take you to page 1 because that's where our divs. All right, div 1 has the same design, the same styling, the same content, everything the same. Div 2 the same, div 3 the same, div 4 the same. Let's say for some reason we want to change the color of only div 2, this particular one. How do we handle that? Since we have the same class name here, if you target it, it's not going to work because already you have styled your class. Okay, so the best way to handle this is to give it an ID, and that's why it's called ID. It's unique, so meaning this is unique. So give it an ID, and let's call it the second box. Okay, so let's call it second dash box. Okay, so we're giving it an ID called second box, an ID should be mentioned once, or you can only write an ID once. Okay, so we're going to give this second box a different color. Okay, this second box, we want to give it a different color and not this red. Okay, so the best way to handle it is to use ID, and we're calling it second box. This is the name of our ID, second box. We simply copy this ID, and then we go to style. Please, let's target that ID, and because it's an ID, you put hash character and then mention the name of the ID, and then we're able to target that second box. So what are we giving it? Let's give it a different background color and different height and different width. Okay, so we're going to do that. First, we're going to give it a background color. Let's say green. Okay, so green background color. Good. Now let's go to our web browser and check, reload, and as you can see, the second box is affected, and this is what we call ID. ID has helped us uniquely design our second box without problems. Okay, good. We'll go back there, and then we're going to give it a different height. Okay, so we can give it a height of, let's say, 70. Okay, so let's give it 70 pixels, and then we'll give it a width the same 70 pixels. This is going to be a square, but a bigger square than the rest of them. So we'll go to our web browser, reload, and as you can see, this is a square but a little bit bigger than the rest of them. So that's an ID. An ID helps us target specific elements on a page uniquely. Okay,